In this episode, I will be interviewing my cousin Jenny, which I call her Ate Jenny in Filipino. Whenever someone's older, whether it be your sibling or a cousin or anyone else, you tend to call them ate if they are a female or kuya if they are a male. So it's just a sign of respect. So that's why I keep calling her ate. Also, I'm wearing my Bulls sweatshirt. My cousin and Gilbert are big Laker fans, and I just want to troll them. Go Bulls! Enjoy the video. Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Sherwin, and in this video, I got my cousin, Ate Jenny. Ate Jenny just picked up a Model Y, and so I wanted to interview her and ask her about stuff about the car and see what she likes about it and stuff. Now, I do want to mention that she had the car for a couple months now, but her husband Gilbert is the one that mainly drives it. But I thought it'd be interesting to ask her about what she thought about the car. And I think you just drove it last Friday.
Only last Friday.
So we're gonna have fun with this. I mean, we always have fun with the videos. So
I might be the most stupid driver of Tesla.
No. At least we could improve, right? There's room for improvement all the time. So what do you mind sharing what your occupation is?
My occupation, I own 2 businesses.
Okay, so business owner. And so what made you decide to get an EV?
Me and my husband talk about the gas price hike. Yeah, it's too much because I'm driving from Orange County to San Diego. So like, and it's a company's expense, you know.
Oh, there you go. So what was that, like over 100 miles usually? Over maybe like 200, huh? 200 miles.
Forth, yeah.
So Ate Jenny drives close to 200, maybe more, and she's still considered an EV. So that's pretty interesting. Was there any other EV brands that you were looking at, or you just had your mind set on a Tesla? Or
no, my husband wants the S. I know that we can afford it. Yeah,
it's fine.
Just his dream, you know.
Yeah.
Let's see what's gonna happen.
So my cousin picked up this Model Y. It's a long range and black interior, white exterior. And what's interesting is actually the original person who got the reservation changed their mind. And so they're working on changing the title and stuff, right? To change, because you can't just buy a reservation. So it was a good friend of theirs. They didn't want the reservation anymore. So no extra money exchanges or anything. They just passed on the reservation. But again, you can't just buy the reservation. So the title is between your friend and your husband, right, Gilbert? So the title has a co-ownership, and so they're going to transfer the title over. So a lot of people are asking online, like, oh, can I sell my reservation, or someone selling? It doesn't work that way. I mean, there's weird ways to do it, but for the most part, you can't sell a reservation. But you were fortunate enough because that reservation was actually done prior to the price hikes last year, and I think it was even cheaper than the discounts now. Yeah. Right? It's still cheaper, right?
Cheaper.
Because it was a reservation from early 2022 or 21, right?
2022.
Yeah. So she had a good deal on it, didn't want to pass it up, and now we're in her Model Y studios doing this video. So what else can we talk about? So what is the best thing? If you had to pick one, I know you don't drive it much, but I'm sure Gilbert drives it and you're a passenger. What one thing, if you had to brag about owning an EV or a Tesla, like, it's like, what do you like about the Tesla? You have to pick only one. What would that be? The speed, the performance. So many of you probably know or heard about the performance of these cars. It's just it just goes. A lot of people compare it to golf carts that are on steroids, and these guys are. So that's the one thing you would pick. That's interesting.
Speed.
Yeah. You know what your daughter Isla said?
What did you say?
The gas savings. She likes to save money on gas.
I don't even think about the gas savings because my husband is the one who paid the bills.
That's true.
But I first drove it on Friday, and then Isla's besides me, which she drove. What model is Isla?
Model 3.
Model 3.
Yes.
And I have anxiety, like because I cannot drive Tesla without Isla, who is familiar with the Tesla, and Adrian, This is my 11-year-old son, even though he don't drive, but he's familiar on the computer, and of course my husband. But for the first time after Ayla, then I pick up my son, and Ayla is gone. So I'm more comfortable driving it by myself.
See, this is why I wanted to do this video because she owns the car, but she barely drives it, and I wanted to get her perspective on it, and I think it's pretty interesting.
And then I remember what my husband told me: just drive the Tesla, and he just taught me the reverse, park, and then drive.
The important
stuff. He said, don't touch anything. So, and then my daughter told me to pick up his son, and I was waiting like 20 minutes. And during that time, I think it's 75 degrees on that day.
Yeah.
That was Wednesday. And of course, I'm inside. I can even
open the door.
Open the door or the window. And I don't know where's the air condition is. So when my and then the funny part is when my grandson arrived, he wants me.
So he was outside waiting for you to open the door, and you're like, I don't know how to open the door.
And then there's a lot of people behind me for the line in the school, and then they pass me, and then I go down and I let my grandson touch it, and the funny part is when I drive it, I touch something and it don't drive, like, you know, it stopped. We're like stopped in the middle of everybody.
Oh my goodness.
So I was so embarrassed, but
oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
Room for improvement.
Probably
right?
Probably the driver behind me told me that hey, probably she's a first driver.
Yeah.
They get it, you know.
I could only imagine seeing that your grandson's just waiting out there outside, like, can you open the door yet?
And he was laughing. I said,
oh
I said, I apologize because this is the first time I drove the Tesla. I don't have a choice because I used to have a company car, a RAV4.
Yeah.
But we sold it. We traded it in for the Hyundai Kona for our other marketer.
That Kona a hybrid or is that a electric?
No, it's
regular.
It's a gas, yeah, regular.
Not a hybrid.
We love to buy another Tesla, but no, not at this time.
So you mentioned you had a RAV4, and then now you have a Kona for one of your employees. Next to us we have a Lexus. What is this?
RX350.
RX350. Okay. Also white. So you have other cars, and then you have an EV. Now, I don't know if you can answer this question, but what is the one thing you don't like about the EV? Whether you're driving it or just as a passenger.
As a passenger? I don't know. So far, I like it. I enjoy
You like it?
Yeah.
So nothing that strikes your mind about dislikes? Not yet.
Dislikes? What I heard about the...
Well, in your experience, because there's a lot of information that people tell you, and the funny thing is, a lot of these informations are people who never own an EV, and then it just gets spread around, and it's like, oh man, I'm never gonna buy an EV. So, but as far as owning it, being a passenger, or maybe that one time you drove, is there anything that you could say that you don't like about it? If not, maybe we'll do another video in the future when you drive more.
The only thing I don't like is I don't have a handle
oh,
to hold.
Yes.
Yeah, and I used to have a handle in all the cars, so
to help you get out.
Yeah, I used to it.
You know, that's actually a common complaint. So there's no handles.
But I used to it, so I always hold it. I say, oh shit, it's a Tesla. There's no handle. So
interesting. That's interesting.
That's
okay.
it. That's the handle.
Okay.
I don't know if my Lexus have a handle.
I think they all do. Yeah, by the door.
I have a handle there.
Yeah.
Just the handle.
So this Model Y you got 2 or 3 months ago, right?
Yeah.
Well, so here's a hypothetical question. Okay. If I came to you and be like, Ate Jenny, I'm doing real good. I want to buy you any car. It's up to you on what you want to pick. Price doesn't matter. I got you. Hypothetically,
I like the S.
What would you?
I'm very curious about the S.
So out of all the cars,
it
doesn't have to be an EV. You would still pick an EV.
Wow.
A Model S.
If I can afford it.
No, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy it for you, right? Like hypothetically, like I came to you and like
I
I'll
guess
buy
it's
you.
true.
No, well, but it's just an interesting question, I
I
think.
heard a lot of things about the S, you know.
So
So I'm very
you wouldn't
curious.
even you
Yeah.
wouldn't pick you
Because they
wouldn't
said
pick
the speed. Okay, I said I like it because of the speed, right?
speed, okay.
It's not because of gas. Even though I'm not a racer, you know.
Okay.
But I'm just curious because they said this is faster than McLaren.
Yeah, it can be. It's
The
supposedly
Adrian
fastest
said
production car.
The fastest
production car.
car all over, like
So
overall.
we're talking about the Model S Plaid.
Mm.
So out of any car that you could pick, and it doesn't have to be EV, that's still what you would pick. You wouldn't pick a Rolls Royce, you wouldn't pick a Bugatti, you wouldn't pick a McLaren.
I think we love the S.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Even Gilbert,
even though you don't
Gilbert,
drive.
that's Gilbert's dream. Actually, it's my husband's dream.
A Model S.
Yeah, he said after his car,
He has a Camry right now. Right?
Yeah, he got a Camry hybrid. But he said I would love to have a Tesla S Plaid. Ano yun?
Plaid.
Plaid.
Interesting.
I bet you like that too.
Dang, that's you know what your daughter
But
picked?
you like it. You like the truck, right?
Yeah, the Cybertruck.
Uh-huh.
I've always wanted a truck.
What did Isla like?
So the first thing she said was, I want to get our Model X, like what we have, the Model X. And I asked again, like, it's just really interesting to me because you and her picked an EV, and I said any car, it doesn't have to be an EV. So when I said it again, he's like, because I gave her other examples, like, oh, you don't want like the Bugatti or whatever, or like a G-Wagon, the Mercedes G-Wagon. I was like, oh, you know what? Yeah, AMG, Mercedes AMG. You're gonna buy it, right? I'm like, no, hypothetically. So, but it's and that wasn't a question that I had on the list, and it was like a surprise question because I wanted you to not be prepared. But I found it interesting that out of all the cars I can buy for you, hypothetically, you still chose an EV.
Yeah.
So I think that's like a positive experience so far, even though you don't drive it as much, but you guys use it.
Guess what? Friday, my first time drove without anybody,
by
I'm
yourself?
by myself.
Okay.
Before I pick up my son and Isla is gone, right? And I love it, you know. And before, I'm not crazy about Tesla, like okay. Gilbert is the most craziest about this car, you know. But if you come to
he's
think of it,
a truck guy too.
Yeah, he's a truck guy.
What was the other truck he had when we went to Big Bear?
He got the Dodge Mega Cab, the Ram, the biggest
Ram,
one.
yeah.
So
Okay.
and then he got the Denali, you know.
Yeah, the Denali.
Yeah, but I love.
Now he's switching to EV.
He was thinking of buying the car, remember? And then we talked to you about, hey, because we're supposed to give his car to Marie.
Yeah.
That's what we're thinking. I said, okay, if we're gonna buy that, we might as well save money
and get the S.
Get the S. It's a dream. It's a dream come true, and we have goals to meet. So
the conversation we had previously when they were doing the trade-ins, because I suggested why not get another Model Y, since you guys already own one, you know how it is. I think Gilbert wanted a Model 3 at first, and so Gilbert and I are about similar age. He's a little older, but
my God, he's way older.
Okay, so I had a Model 3 a few years ago, and one of the reasons why I traded it in for a Model Y was because it's lower on the ground. And we're getting up there in age, and there's times where when I get out the car, the lower back just starts reminding me of how old I am. And so I shared that with Gilbert, her husband, and he didn't really realize that because you guys always own large cars, usually SUVs. You have RAV4, you have the Lexus RX350, now you have a Model Y. I mean, the only one he has is the Camry hybrid. So I told him that the Model 3 probably sits lower. And so when you're getting in and out of that car, I mean, how are you gonna feel? So that's why I was like, maybe if you are gonna consider another Tesla, then just get a Model Y because you already own one and you know what to expect. But you ended up just waiting a little bit longer so he can get the actual car he wants, which is a Model S. But keep in mind, Model S is just like a Model 3, so maybe it just needs a back support or something. But yeah, that's cool.
So you don't like the S? Do you
I
think
got
it's overpriced or
no. If we're gonna talk about price with Tesla, we usually have a tendency to keep our cars long and we use it, and so I think that we get our money's worth. So I don't really think about the price because we get our money's worth. On all the cars that we bought before EVs, we keep it for a very long time and we drive a lot. That's why we benefit a lot driving EVs. I got a loaner, the Model S Plaid, a few months ago, and if you haven't seen that video, go check that out. It was okay, but the condition of the car was bad. So I don't know. And then they gave me a older Model S, which I kind of like. It had the old screen and everything, so it was the older one. So I kind of like that one because it doesn't have that simplicity. Yeah, the design it had more character in it, and so I kind of like that. But we have a Model X. And so our Model X is not the Plaid, it's the long range. So if I was after the performance, I mean, the long range versus the Plaid's gonna be obviously faster, but I'm already content with how that performs. Our Model X performs. Our Model Y performance is pretty fast too. So I don't know what I would be after. I'm not after anything on the Model S really. So it doesn't really interest me as much. I like bigger cars. I've always wanted bigger cars. I just can't afford the gas. Like I like Gilbert's old truck. I could buy the truck. Buying the truck is no problem, but then I gotta put gas in it. That's a problem, and I drive far. So, but yeah, because of Tesla, Tesla made it possible for me to own and afford larger vehicles. So that's why I traded my 3 for the Y, because I just wanted a bigger car, and we have the X. So it's not that I don't like the S, but it's not my kind of car. I think I got it out of my system having the Model 3, and I know that the 3 and the S are two different cars, but I think what I wanted out of that car, I've already experienced it, and now I just want something big. So, but yeah, like I told Gilbert, like if you get the S, it's still low on the ground. I don't know if he has any back problems, but you know, gotta consider that.
So what is your next Tesla?
I have the Cybertruck on order. I have it on order.
Oh my god!
I really want a truck. I've always wanted, and again, Tesla made it possible for me to afford those kinds of vehicles. I don't know if I'm gonna give up the Y, because I like the Y. But I have the truck. I have it on order, and I don't know when it's coming in. But I'm not in a rush. I'm content with what I have. So, but yeah. Would you buy another Tesla? Would you buy an EV again? If you were to buy your next cars, would you ever go back to gas?
I don't think so.
No.
Because I know how much you're gonna save this year.
So
we'll see. We will save a lot of money, and the money that we will save, probably it's better to buy another EV.
Yeah.
And give up.
Well, because of how you use it, you drive almost 200 miles, probably more a day. So the savings is like right there. You get your money back quick. So, well, that's about it. Thank you for spending some time with me. This has been a great conversation.
Nervous,
no, it's fine. I'm nervous too, but it's one of those, as you just talk, it becomes like a normal conversation.
The next one you're gonna interview is Gilbert.
Gilbert,
and he will tell you that he likes.
Yeah.
He loved it. And then Adrian.
Yeah, he's a smart
Adrian
kid.
is the one you need to interview, because he always say, "Mommy, when are you going?" He was so excited, and he was surprised. I never told him that, that I'm gonna use the Tesla.
Yeah.
Because when I brought him to work, I use Mari's car, which is the Kona.
The Kona, okay.
Yeah. So, he's assuming that I'm gonna pick him up with the Kona again, but he was surprised that I drove the Tesla, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, an experience, and I'm gonna use this on Monday. The
You
only
should
thing
start
is,
using this. My
No,
cousin
this
doesn't
is
drive
my
this
car
car a
now.
lot. Okay.
This is my car. I'm not.
Oh, because the
No.
RAV4 is gone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Now
Okay.
you really gotta drive.
I think it's meant to be because the RAV4, if it's not trade in or if we did not sold it, I have a company car, so I
Yeah.
don't have no sense of using this car. It's always in the garage, you know.
Yeah.
The only time we use this is when we're going to San Diego, going to LA, you know.
Yeah.
That's it. And Gilbert is the driver. But I don't have a choice, but I love it. And then on Monday, I will use it again.
You don't have a choice, but I think it's a great choice.
But I love it. I enjoy it on Friday. I was
Yeah.
so careful. But yeah, I'm not used to
That regen braking probably.
I still
the
use
brake.
the brake. Yeah.
It gets some time
Because
to
I'm
used to.
scared that I'm gonna hit somebody if I didn't. So
Oh yeah.
so I'm not used to that yet.
The only way is you have to drive it.
And then when I seen that, I was like slowly, you know, I'm not so close to the car
Yeah.
because I don't want to hit the car.
Yeah, in the beginning, Abby would hit the brake, so she would brake early because it's a mixture of the regular brake and the regen, so you're
Yeah.
double braking. But it just I think you'll get
Now
used
she's
to it. Oh yeah, I don't think it takes that long to get used to the regen braking.
Yeah.
If it's your very first one, because we have Priuses before, so we already had experience with it. It's just this one's more aggressive.
Yeah.
But I think you just have to drive it.
Mm.
You gotta get some floor mats.
I know. Where can I order that, guys?
We got ours. We got ours from Tesla.
Tesla.
Yeah. The Model X accessories are always sold out, but the Model Y there's plenty.
Mm.
I have a video on that. If you haven't seen my Model Y accessories video, go check that out.
Yeah, I need a floor mat.
Yeah, but again, thank you for your time. I had fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.